this regime is a shit show. Keone, what were they thinking?
Thinking? You got to stop accusing this administration about thinking.
The amount of energy that it takes to be a racist is insane.
It's too easy, Stacey. The only thing the internet asks you to be most times is don't be homophobic, don't be sexist, don't be racist. How hard
Apparently
is that?
they can't handle it.
Stacey, you got to pull, because I don't know what the hell Trump is doing. Pull a card, because we haven't done that yet. And it's got to be the fool. It's going to be the fool. It has to be the fool.
Oh my God! Who's the psychic now?
Stacey!
Hey, Keone, what's up?
There's one thing I just realized seeing that intro at the end. I have a huge ass. And I need to start doing some cardio.
Okay.
It looked like a giant white bus pulling out of the parking lot. I saw me get up. Ah, jeez. They said the camera adds 10 pounds. They lied. It's like 25. Welcome back to another episode of Dear Democracy. And boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about since we haven't seen each other in 2 weeks.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, to do a political show, right, you got to do it daily. But I don't, quite frankly, have enough hours in the day, and neither do you. So I guess this is the best we can arrive at.
Well, the first comment says best president ever. And it reminds me, the thing I want to ask is this person only been alive for 2 presidents? Because since Obama left, we haven't had a good president. Like, good Lord. If you think about it, if someone is 20 years old, all they've known is Trump and Biden, and that's sad.
It's my stepdaughters. That's all they've ever known.
Sad.
Yeah.
I thought I was complaining, well, not complaining, but by the age of 25, what did I have? I had Bush twice. Well, I had Clinton, but I had Dad Bush, I had Clinton, and then young Bush.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought the 2 Bushes with Clinton sandwiching was bad. Good Lord, I'd rather have that than what we've got now.
Oh, I know. I couldn't believe that when I say they, I wasn't an American citizen at the time. So that's kind of how I remember it is I remember being like, how could you vote in Bush Jr. a second time? Like, what is wrong with people? And I remember just really being like completely distraught over that. And I look back on that now and I'm like, like I would have taken, I think I'd prefer that.
The thing that if you go back and look at presidencies, it's very hard to not vote a president in a second time in the middle of a conflict.
Right. Sure. Sure.
Yeah. So that happens quite often a lot. And I guess we got to get over it. Franklin Roosevelt's not walking through that door. Okay. Nope. Anytime soon. So, and you miss, you know what you miss the most? You miss having a president that carried themselves like a leader of a country. Whether they're right or wrong, just knowing
like a person with some level of integrity, someone who just.
Well, I push back on that because we've had presidents with no integrity, but it's the carrying themselves. People say, "Well, you want them to lie to you?" Well, I mean, you all assume everyone lies to them anyway, but just the decency and having the ability to understand you're running a country, not a brothel. And that's the thing. And everything he said that he's going to do, he keeps doing the opposite. And the people that follow him put on blinders. But, the thing is, more and more people are waking up. And it's funny because every time somebody wakes up and makes a post on how are they wrong and how they've given up, And now, and I'm like, well, where have you been? Well, I can't
Yeah.
believe you did this. Where have you been?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what we've been shouting from the rooftops since 2016. Like,
Yeah. Like those first three people that logged in, and one of them made that comment, and I think she's gone already because we're gonna badmouth her favorite president.
no, I think she was being facetious. I
No,
really
I
do.
know, I know, I know. I don't think you have anybody that follows you that's a diehard uh,
No.
supporter. Well, first, well, let's kick it off with the thing that's been the most relevant, which is the Super Bowl halftime performance.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start off with the lowest hanging fruit when people complain that, well, it was in Spanish. Well, yeah, of course it was. And how dare you? And I hate to agree with certain people like Pierce Morgan, but they said, and you were an opera singer. When you go watch Pavarotti at the opera, do you yell at him because he's singing in Italian?
Exactly. Like, where is your culture? What culture are you bringing to that other ridiculousness of a halftime show? Where's the culture in that? Where is the pride in that culture? I mean, Kid Rock lip synced the whole freaking thing
Oh,
and couldn't
oh,
even
you
do
jumped
the
in.
whole, like, couldn't even lip sync properly. I mean, come on now. Come
Well,
on.
here's the problem. He he lip sync, but he didn't lip sync live. So here's the problem. He's knows how to lip sync, as most people do. The problem is when you do the music in post and you don't sync it up, he was doing things on the wrong words. Now, he didn't do that. It's because of that. So, three things with that. Number one, you said it was going to be live to be in direct competition of the halftime show. Oh, what a shocker. You lied because it wasn't
Yeah.
live. You
Yeah.
didn't play it at the same time as the halftime show. You played it after the halftime show, and it was pre recorded. You stated that it broke all kinds of records. It couldn't have because the Puppy Bowl doubled the views than the Turning Point halftime show. And if you can't beat the Puppy Bowl, you cannot hope to beat the Super Bowl halftime show. I'm just saying.
Well, here's the thing. This administration, quite frankly, I want to say they are incapable of telling the truth. Everything that comes out of their mouth is a lie or a projection. And I mean, it's not a surprise because this is how it was before. Everything that man says is a half truth or is him telling on himself. You know,
Well,
he says
Stacey,
it's
how do you know they're lying when their lips are moving?
exactly when their lips are moving. When they're sitting there doing nothing, you know they're lying because they're scheming. They're in their heads trying to think about what the next crazy thing is to say. I mean, it's we really truly are in the upside down world right now. We really are. And it just like and maybe this is where I've gone
Mhm.
wrong in my life and this is where my eyes are being opened is I'm not Pollyanna enough to believe that there aren't racists out there and there aren't misogynists out there. I mean, I'm a woman for fuck's sake. I have experienced that. I'm not, you know, the racist part. I've not had any issues with that, quite frankly. But because I'm a white woman, so there you go. But I mean, as a woman, I've had a lot of sexism. I've had a lot of discrimination and things going unfairly and people, you know, mistreating me and all the rest of it. So it's not like I'm living in this, you know, world, you know, like Candyland where everybody's, you know, freaking awesome. But I had no idea, truly. And people would tell me all the time about the racism. You know, I had American relatives and they were very racist, but I figured they were racist because of where they came from. And, you know, I'm not going to use any kind of racial slurs or whatever, but I mean, they were white individuals, lower income and low educational, you know, status and whatever, and they were supporters of Republican, you know, nonsense. And so, you know, okay, fine, whatever. I thought that was not the norm. And watching all of this happen now, it's frightening because I know it's not true. I know that there's probably 70% of the country that doesn't feel that way. But even like in my mind, like, you know, going back to the Kid Rock show, you know, 4 million people. chimed into that. That blows my mind that there are 4 million people in this country who buy into all this bullshit. 4 million people in this country who are racist, who are misogynistic.
Well, it got up to 7, so 7.8 or something
Just
like that at its
it
peak.
blows my mind. And that's, I guess maybe that's the naive Canadian girl in me.
Well, I love the irony of the amount of people that said they weren't going to watch it and they didn't watch it, and in the very next breath explain everything that they didn't like in the halftime show, but I thought you didn't watch it.
Right. Yeah. No, the hypocrisy is, I mean, if I had to choose only one word to
Mhm,
describe this, like aside from like tyrannous,
mhm.
it would be hypocrisy. I mean, the hypocrisy is extraordinary to me. The hypocrisy of the regime, the hypocrisy of the people who support this regime. I don't understand it. I don't get it. It just does not make any sense to me. We're all humans. We're all
Well,
human beings. Like I just yeah, my mind is blown.
the problem is you're trying to use your rational brain to figure out things that are irrational.
Well, from a spiritual perspective, I understand very clearly what's going on. It's easy to understand where a racist comes from. It
Mhm.
comes from a place of fear. I'm fearful of you because you're different from me and you might be better than me, so I have to squash you like a bug in order for me to feel safe and secure. I mean, that's not rocket science. We could apply that even to the misogyny piece as well. I'm fearful that you might, show me
Uh-oh.
up or be better than
There
me.
you are.
Oh, what? What? Can you hear
Oh,
me?
it kind of lagged for a second. I got you.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
you're back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like the misogyny thing. You're afraid of me as a woman because you're afraid of my intelligence or you're afraid of my power, but I'm not trying to exert my power over you. I just want the freedom to be able to be myself. The same as I'm happy to give you the freedom to be yourself. Whether I agree with you or not, I still fundamentally believe that you have the right to be who you choose to be. Whether we engage with each other or not is a totally different thing. But,
Well, one
that's
of the things that will help is anytime you have experiencing others' cultures, right?
yeah.
I didn't need to know a damn thing he was saying. I'm from Miami. You know how many Spanish clubs I've been to where I've danced my ass off not knowing one single lick of word
Well,
that came. I mean, I could catch out
Ricky
a
Martin
couple
sings
of
in Spanish,
words.
and Mark Antony sings in Spanish too. He
I know,
sings in
but I know
English
what
as
living la
well.
yeah, but I know what living la vida loca means.
Right.
Um,
But there you
but just
go.
from a now you can appreciate this being a former opera singer,
Sure.
performance. Just the aesthetics of what I watched was amazing.
Oh
The
yeah, incredible.
details, the little things that were happening in the background from the person getting their hair braided and hair clippers and an actual wedding taking place on top where the actual grandparents were there. And then the little boy that he gave the Grammy to that was snatched
Yeah.
up in the driveway by ICE, him and his father.
Yeah. He was
That
the
was
adorable little 5-year-old that got sick in ice. Thank God they released him and his dad. Oof.
Yeah. So it was really cool. And when he talked about uniting and he said the Americas and he said every country in America. And of course, people got mad because he said United States and then he said Canada. Why didn't he say it less? But I was like, if you're gonna find something to be mad about, you're gonna find something to be mad about, right?
Well, that's just people being ornery. Like
Mhm,
you're trying to fabricate evidence to fit the crime, right? Like you're trying to
mhm,
make up your reason to be angry or to justify, your hatred, to justify your fear and your insecurity. That's what that is. It's so
mhm.
easy to see through, but how do we stop it? Like as a community, when you have 30% of the community, 30% of this country
Well, Stacy,
believe
that's a good
that.
question. How do we stop it? What do the cards say?
Oh, yeah. That's right. It is a psychic show, isn't it?
Oh, you thought it was the Stacy venting hour?
Sure. Who doesn't need their own venting hour?
Hey, I'm not doing any more podcasts where you lay on the couch and Have me assess you. I'm not doing it.
Lay on the couch and have you
Assess you.
obsessed.
Assess
What's
you.
that?
Assess you. You know, when you talk to a
Yeah, no, no, I know
psychologist.
assess. I mean, what podcast did I lay on a couch and you had to assess me?
No, it's I'm speaking metaphorically.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me. I'm like, okay,
Oh,
like I know we've done a few shows together, but I don't recall that one.
this is why we shouldn't do it this late at night, folks.
I was just gonna say, bear with me. It's been
Did
a
you have
long
your glass
day.
of wine
I've
yet?
been up since 6:30. All
Yeah.
right. So your question was, what do we do? And I love that we actually pulled the King of Wands. So, King of Wands energy, this is the entrepreneurial card. This is the card that says, use your charm, use your confidence, use the fire in your belly to make happen whatever your visions want to become. And in the following of your own heart, the pursuing of your own dreams, others will follow you either out of admiration, out of support, and sometimes out of fear, right? They're going to fear you. And it's kind of like what we're seeing here in this card is you've got someone on stage and you've got all of these, screaming fans, right? Everyone that is there is kind of in adoration and enjoying the experience, enjoying uh, sipping from the cup of that individual's energy, right? Because it's all about energy. So of course, every fan has its kooks, every fan has its haters, whether that's mental illness or, again, people feeling insecure about themselves. At the end of the day, we're all mirrors to one another. And that's the thing. Some people, notice the mirror, notice the reflection of perfection or mastery, and they're in awe of it. And they say, thank you for sharing this. And you're amazing. And you've inspired me to find this within myself or to work this up within myself so that I can become all that I can be. And then you've got the people who say, you scare the fuck out of me. I don't know how to control you, so I'm going to squash you like a bug. So when we ask the question, how can we, kind of stop this tyranny? I feel like we need to really all step into our own integrity, our own leadership, our own fire, the fire in your belly for whatever it is. Don't worry about comparing yourself to other people. Focus on your own vision, and others will either follow you for it or they'll seek you out for it or they'll support you for it. This is how the world really goes round. And that's kind of I want to say the unfortunate thing about what we're witnessing is, you know, the leader of this regime, not it's not an administration, it's a regime. The leader of this regime, in my opinion, is a cult leader, um, connected with people who felt that they had been overlooked, that they were disposable, that other people were getting what they were entitled to, and he poked all the right buttons. He pushed all the right buttons. He used their emotions against them to manipulate them into doing his bidding. And the King of Wands, yes, I want to say the King of Wands has that ability when it's in the reverse as well. You can use your fire to be mean to other people, for example, to burn other people out, to drive, people to work extra hard. But when this is in balance, what is going on?
The panel for the intro has you and I side by side, so it looks like the screen where you and I are on it.
Oh my
So
God. Well, I saw that the intro started playing again and I'm like, what the hell? So yeah, and just from a psychic perspective without the cards, this is a hard one for me, but what I keep seeing from my guides is it's bridging the gap, it's bridging the divide. It's the politically correct term would be the bipartisan. coming together, working together for a common goal. It's been a long time since we've had a common goal, especially in this country. It's been a long time. The last time I can think of us having a common goal was probably 9/11, when the whole country
Mm.
just dropped everything that it knew and believed, and everyone just was focused on, we were Americans. We were Americans. It wasn't we're Black Americans and white Americans and we're Democrats or we're Republicans. It wasn't all these labels. It was we're Americans. And so you help your neighbors out. I feel almost as though that is the spirit through which our guides are saying we want to embrace, that we want to act out in at this time. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys, I'm having a hard time with that because I'm really struggling to find the commonality aside from, yes, we're all humans and we all have the right to be who we choose to be. I believe that fully. The emotional part of me struggles to say, like, okay, yeah, you do you. My challenge is everything that's going on right now, they're not allowing people to just live their lives. They have to control everyone and anything around them. It's like it's not enough to just let bygones be bygones. I have this thought so often in my head. If you want to go and be power hungry and do horrible things on an island, why don't y'all, all that 30% of you, go fucking buy an island and go do that shit with each other. Leave the
Well,
rest out of it.
yeah, but that defeats the whole purpose of why they're doing it. Now, I'm not defending it,
Oh,
but
obviously
they
not.
don't. Yeah, they don't want to. You
But
know.
that's the annoying part to me. That's the part that I
Mhm.
cannot always get to. Is I understand that we need to bridge the gap, and it's something I'm working on with my coach. Even is okay. Just because you voted this jackass in doesn't necessarily mean that you support everything that he's doing. That, like you said today, Keone, the eyes are opening. So, okay, I
Mhm.
get that. Like, I'm with you. Like, okay, open your eyes, see.
Yeah. Well, the problem that people don't understand is if you do not want to, like, for instance, I do understand every single MAGA person, every single Republican, of course, is not racist. I understand that. I know that. The problem is I can't be the only one that's guilty by association, right? I
Right.
come from
Yeah.
a people that gets always get measured by their worst, right?
Yeah.
Never by their best, always by their worst. And the one thing you don't do, for instance, Stacy, if you didn't want to be known as a racist, you don't have racist friends.
Right. Right.
If I
Exactly.
didn't want to be, I grew up with some male friends that had some ideas about women and we became no longer friends.
Hmm.
I had a friend, we were a really good friend, and he got a girlfriend and he cheated on her all the time. And I'm like, what are you doing? And then she cheated on him and he got mad. And I'm like, what are you angry about? Well, she can't do that. It's mine and I belong. I'm like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Goodbye.
Yeah. It's just there's no synergy in the values. It's
Yeah.
why I am so deeply connected to the concept of chosen family versus original family. I have
Mhm.
some decent original family people in my life, but I have a lot of other people, original family people in my life that we just do not align on so many things. And I love you, but I don't have to like you. Chosen family are the people that I choose to be in my life and to walk this life with on a day-to-day basis. And because there's choice involved, I'm choosing them specifically because they do represent who I am as a person. They represent, the beliefs that I hold, the beliefs that I share. And we don't have to be in agreement on everything. It's not like I want to date myself or I want to only be friends with myself. I'd drive myself fucking nuts. But it's the commonality, right? It's that level of connection. And that's the part that I struggle with, is being the bridge to someone that I don't have that commonality with on the checkbox of things. Do we have commonality all the way through the list? Do we have commonality on two or three things? Do we have commonality on seven things? Like,
Yeah, well, because I know a couple that The husband is a Democrat, his wife is Republican.
Hmm.
Sounds weird, but you know what his wife isn't?
A racist?
Bingo.
Yeah.
He's black, his wife is white. She doesn't
Interesting.
have a racist bone in her body. But one of the things that Dave struggles with is to be a Republican today means you've got to be a racist and you have to be conservative when that wasn't always the thing.
No,
Because
but it
we've
has
gotten to
become
this,
the thing. It
well,
has become the thing now.
because we've gotten to this place where we don't have the divisions anymore, right? It used to be, well, are you a little liberal? Are you conservative? Are you progressive? Are you this? Are you that? And sometimes your views can change and waver, and it's not the same.
Sure.
For instance, you might be progressive when it comes to abortion, but you might be a little more conservative when it comes to gun
Hmm.
control. But people don't allow you to do that anymore. You're
Yeah.
either this or you're that.
That's that divisiveness. It's the extremes. We're living in the
Mhm.
extremes. We need to be more focused on living in the gray areas and allowing others to have those gray areas because um we're not automatons. We're not robots, you know? And I hear you. And that's the thing that I'm having to work on because I believe that truly. And the circumstances are of such a nature that the extremes that I'm seeing right now are very triggering. And so I'm having to, you know, kind of just pull back a little bit and say, okay, I don't want to, I don't want if you can't beat them, join them. That's not my goal here. I don't want to lower
So
my
crazy?
standards. What's
You know
that?
what's so crazy? I don't even get it. I don't even get angry. It's almost like I've become numb.
Oh, sure.
Growing up where I grew up, being treated or called how I've been treated, I've become sort of numb.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's happening. I'm not shocked. I'm never shocked. People get so shocked and they clutch their pearls. And I'm like, yeah, this is a Tuesday for me.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the part. And being a person that was born and raised in another country, uh, it baffles me when I watch commentary in some other countries. Like I watch some LBC stuff that's over in London, in England, and the
Hmm.
amount of people that are MAGA in England. I'm like, how are you in MAGA and you're in England?
I know. It's really bizarre.
Insane.
Yeah. It's really bizarre. So ask me another psychic question.
What? What? I'm circus monkey. Just dance. Do it now.
Yes.
Not my
Bring in
circus.
the
Not my
psychic.
monkey. Well, I want you to do a bullshit pull. So we know that the video was posted on the president's platform of the first black president and first black first lady being depicted as apes
Yeah.
in a video. And of course, he says first they said it's a Democrat hoax that didn't happen. Then when he realized it was a thing, he didn't do it. Some intern did it. This is a president that can't go 5 seconds not realizing what's being posted and what's being said. You mean for 12 hours, he didn't know it.
Hmm.
So I call BS. And some people are defending. How likely is it that that post, now, the video, of course, wasn't made by him. He can't use AI. But how likely is it that someone else posted that besides him or that he didn't know of the posting?
From a psychic perspective, I've seen for a long time with him that he has someone around him 24/7. So, whether you call that person a handler or an assistant or whatever, he's got someone at his beck and call to do a lot of these things for him. And what I see with this particular post is that, yeah, he basically instructed the person to create a post. This is what I want you to do. Oh, this is going to be great. We're going to do this and this and this, and he's got someone next to him doing blah, 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 blah. And he's like, yeah, that's great. And then he dictates what it is that he wants, or he takes the post, they give him his phone back or whatever, and then he does whatever it is that he does. So he definitely posted that. But I will say, I can tell, and I don't know how much this is psychic or intuitive or just my rational, logical, reasoning brain. I can tell the posts when they really honestly truly come from him, and when they're coming from, for example, Stephen Miller, or they're coming from an aide. And there is a difference. There's a tone, a particular tone
Well,
that
yeah,
he.
there's also less spelling errors when it doesn't, and grammatical errors when
Oh,
it's not coming
sure.
from
Yeah.
him.
With him, it's all caps and so many spelling errors. And, like he loses his train of thought. There's just no rhyme or reason to what is transpiring. But psychically, that's what I see is he's got someone around him 24/7. And the man doesn't sleep. So even when he is in his room sleeping, there's somebody that's either like right outside the door or sits inside the room. And all he has to do is call and they're there. So that's what I've been getting for a while now with the psychic stuff.
Mm. A lot of people didn't get it, of course, because they try to fast forward through the video and they're like, well, he had all the Democrats on there. And even Joe Biden was on the body of an ape. But you have to understand, it's
They
different when
are
you're not the
full
trope.
of shit. Yeah, they're just
Well,
full of shit.
well,
That whole thing.
Biden's not the trope. He's Caucasian. That's not the trope. No one's ever called a Caucasian male an ape
Well, and
or
they
a
tried to say,
monkey.
"Oh, Kamala is a turtle." Come on now. Come on now. Why would you in the first place think that this was even funny? Like, where would this ever be something funny or entertaining or appropriate unless you're like 15 or under?
I
Like
don't even
this just.
think 15 or under people find it funny. I just think if you're in that ilk, you find it funny.
Sure. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess it takes a certain mentality.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I mean, that's just, I mean, it's ridiculous. And I mean, even them bringing up the Lion King took place in Africa or the Sahara Desert or whatever. So, I mean, they're still being racist in their way of explaining out the racism. Like, what the fuck?
What
It
is it
doesn't.
with women for Trump?
Oh my God, don't even get me started, Keone. I don't understand. To me, I look at that like this is just Stacy, woman Stacy speaking, not psychic Stacy. I say traitor. I don't understand you. Go get some fucking help. You need therapy. You've got to work through your daddy shit or your mama shit. Wherever it comes from, you got to work through it. You really seriously do. And you need to own, like, stand in your own power and own who you are as a woman, as a human being. Own your fucking divine feminine. Seriously. I do not understand it. I do not understand it.
Well, don't worry. Blacks for Trump's does the same effect to me that
Yeah, that
women
blows my
for
mind
Trump
too. Or
does
or
to you,
LGBTQ for Trump. I'm like,
or
why shoot yourselves in the
yeah,
face? Like, I don't
or
understand it.
Latinos for Trump as well. This is not
No.
going away anytime soon, and it doesn't need to be. The amount of people defending the Epstein Files, the amount of people trying to defend and spin, and I thought Joe Rogan made a turn, but he turned right back around.
He turns back around
Um,
every time he opens his mouth
yeah,
to say something rational and logical.
one of the most disturbing things is reading some of the journals and diaries of these children. And the reason why I say children is because
They were.
these people that are explaining it and excusing it keep calling them young women.
Yeah, I know. It's like, no,
Yeah.
these were children.
Yes. And the one girl that talked about having to have the abortion
Ugh, yeah.
done, and they were telling her to close your eyes, breathe, it's going to be a little pain. And she talked about the pain and how it felt. And I'm not going to talk about it as vividly as she did, but as you're reading it, you're like, this is a child
Yeah. And this is a
that's
child that
experiencing this.
this child would never know to make that shit up.
And then when
Like,
you look at the bed and she talked about the water and the blood, and it's like,
yeah. Yeah. And then to
some
find
people
out
are
on the
defending
other
this.
side of it that she has Down syndrome. So they took advantage of somebody who had Down syndrome, but had like a rare form of it where you couldn't tell, like she didn't have the look of a person with Down syndrome.
Hmm.
Like that to me, like that's just, I mean, I guess the asking the question, how low can you go? I think no longer applies any longer because there's no measurement now. We're at we're hitting the low, and we haven't even seen those other files. And that's with all the videos.
Hmm.
That's with all the videos and the pictures. I
Well,
honestly, like, I know it needs to get out, but I don't know. I don't want to see that stuff. I want to know what's happened so that we can address the
you don't
issue
want
and
the
make
visual. You don't want the
it.
visual. You could do without the visuals, is what you're
I
saying.
could very much do without those visuals. That'll be burned into my brain for the rest of my life.
Yeah, now imagine how traumatizing that is for.
Oh my God, they live it every day. They live it every day. I mean, I've had my own trauma. I certainly wasn't sex trafficked, but I've had my
Mhm.
own trauma in that regard, as a lot of us have. And I can tell you right now, there are times when I close my eyes and I can't get away from that memory or those images or the flashback
Yeah.
or the
Well, you're
feeling.
talking about a person that experienced those type of things, so well, not to the extent of what she was just saying, of
Right.
course, but
That's
has
me
had.
too. Like I didn't, mine were not, it was I want to say it was a different kind of violence. I didn't have and I didn't have the ritualistic part of it. Like there's so much eyes wide shut ritualistic,
Yeah, well,
you know.
I was 6 years old, so uh, six one time and nine, about 9 or 10 the other time. But
Oh, I'm
just
sorry.
hearing those things, and then you have people like Lutnick, who I talked about this on the conversation with Harold and Dave. They do these interviews, and he's sitting down with the interviewer, and he tells this story so moralistically, where we were Epstein's neighbors, and
Oh
we
God.
were invited to his house, and we walk in, and there's a massage table in the middle as soon as you walk in. And I said, "Well, how often do you get massages?" And he walked up to me and my wife and he goes, "Every day." And then he leaned in between me and my wife and he says, "And they're the good kind." And me and my wife looked at each other and both felt creepy. And when we walked out, we said, "That is the most disgusting person we've ever met. And we will never associate and talk to him again." Well, then you find out the some bitch after that interview kept talking to Epstein and was trying to get on the damn island and was talking about lunch on the island. So
No,
here's this bullshit.
and he's done business deals. They have uncovered files that show that there have been business deals, business contracts, crypto stuff. It's how he got Lutnick got some of his money, of course, and like the creep factor of sending the ages of your and the sex of your children when you're going to meet them on the island. Like, oh, bringing my children, my 14-year-old, my 12-year-old, and my 9-year-old. Like, who says that? You
No,
say,
you just say I'm
hey, we're,
bringing my
we're on
kid.
vacation. We're going to come to the island. Let's go for lunch. There will be 5 of us. We're going to bring the kids. Great to see you. No, this is, you're listing it because you know who this man is. You know what he's looking for. And like, there's all of this weirdness with these crazy cracked out parents who were basically, I think a lot of them were like selling their kids. They were getting their kids into these weird circles.
Well, some of the parents, because remember, I lived in Florida, and I can't recall the girl's name because I wasn't going to talk about this. Had nothing to do with what we're going to talk about today. But there was one lady where they had already had her coming over from high school. After she got off school, she would come and do the massages and do all that. Well, she told her friend, "Hey, I know how I can make money. All we have to do is go over here and give massages, and we can make." So if you're in high school and you're getting $300 to go make some massages, you're like, "Oh, screw yeah, I'll go rub some feet, rub some legs." And when that friend came over, the experience she had creeped her out. So that other friend had to get another friend and two other friends. And when these girls came over here, their parents had no idea that they were going over there. They thought they were doing after school stuff. And, you know, teenagers, we've all been there. We
Sure.
sometimes will tell our parents we're going one place and we're going another. And the way the girl's parents knew something was happening, because when you are in tune with your kids, even though kids can still lie and say they're going somewhere, was when her behavior started to change. She started to be depressed all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when her mom was like, something's not right. Something's going on.
Yeah.
you know. And I love that they said Jeffrey Epstein's one of the best blackmailers that he's ever known, which is I may misquote it, but he said something to that effect. It's like, well, damn, how many blackmailers do you know?
Yeah.
I don't have a blackmailer grading scale.
Most of us don't, but apparently that, elite, what are they calling it? The Epstein class. The Epstein class apparently has all of that because they're so deprived and not deprived, they're so depraved that they have so much money that they're bored to tears. It makes me think. I know I always go back to Star Trek, but it makes me think of Plato's Children, or Plato's Stepchildren, the Star Trek original series episode where you have all of these gods and goddesses who are just so uh, above and beyond any kind of compassion at all, that their whole purpose in life is to pluck people out of the sky and torture them, bring them in for their amusement, and torture them because they can bend their will and make them do things that they don't want to do. And
Mm.
it's it's really sickening, and it's really tragic that it makes me say, I don't want that kind of money ever. Like, yeah, I have the dream of having $1 billion in the bank. For me, it's about the security and the freedom. But when I look at what it turns people into, I don't want any part of that. Like,
Yeah,
it warps your brain.
and then it's like if you're bored, get a hobby, do something. I mean, Warren
Yeah,
Buffett's a billionaire. He ain't going out to Epstein Island. You know
it's
why? Because he had a family that he loved.
well, and here's the other thing that has been coming up. Not everyone who went to the island is actually like a clinical pedophile. Some of them absolutely freaking are. Some of them took advantage of a situation because they're like, "Oh, I'm powerful not enough. I've got enough money. I deserve this. I can do this. This is
Well, I'm
part
gonna push back on that because somebody did say that, and here's the problem that I have with that. I get what they're saying, but the money's not gonna make you like it, or the power is not gonna make you like it. You either
correct.
like it or you don't. It's like when
Get
people say,
something
"Well,
out.
I don't want you to turn my son gay." No, if he kissed a boy and he's not gonna like you want to do that. It's something you like. You're attracted to it.
Oh yeah,
There's yeah,
absolutely.
there's just it. You have to have that in you. And again, what do they always say about money? Because the Bible verse is always said wrong when it says money is the root of all evil, right? Or people say money changes people. No, money enables people to do those things that are already in them.
Yeah.
Just like people who drink. There are people who drink and they get goofy and fun. And then there's people who drink and go to dark places because it's in him. Well, I said that racist remark because I was drunk. I've been drunk. I'm from Miami, Party City. I've never once been hammered and got mad and say, let a bunch of racial Caucasian slurs come out of my mouth or Jewish
Yeah.
slurs. You know why? Because it ain't in me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not
No,
in
I
me.
agree with you.
If
There's
you
definitely
were, if you
there's
were a
definitely got to
billionaire,
be a
Stacy,
profile.
if you were a billionaire, Stacy, and you went on an island and they presented you with a 13-year-old, you would ask, how fast can I leave?
No, I would say yes, and I would take the 13-year-old, and she and I would high fucking tail it out of there, and I would be taking her
Or,
back to her parents
or
or
you
taking
both
her
would make it
somewhere
off the
fucking safe.
island, but you never say yes and then try to do a covert ops mission because they're going to record the yes and you won't have anything else at trial. So
True.
you got to,
That's true.
and that,
That's
and
true.
speaking of that, the Donald and this guy Litnick and all this, did they forget how cell phones and emails work? That people
Well,
keep track of these things.
but this was during a time when we weren't as attached to the hip to our technology as we are now. I mean, that developed over time. So I think they started this off before any of that came about. So I don't know that
Yeah,
they
but we
were.
understood emails. When you send an
Yeah,
email, it's
sure. But
yeah,
they
it,
also figured, "Oh, my power is so great, I can delete this and delete that." They just got stupid. They got lazy because they were like, "Nobody can touch me. I'm
I'm
untouchable." So I don't
untouchable.
need
Yeah,
to use
yeah,
this.
yep, I'm
Yeah, no
untouchable.
one's gonna catch me. I'm fully protected, so I don't have to do those
Something
things.
that someone would ask you, How is Maxine feeling right now?
Maxine, you mean Ghislaine Maxwell?
Yeah, I call her Maxine.
Oh, do you? That's funny. I didn't know that. Okay. This is kind of interesting. She's a bit complicated. She's a little bit scared. I feel like she's a bit frightened. Um I feel like she's frightened for her life, but she's also frightened that the plan that was always the plan is now not the plan, and she in one capacity she holds all the cards, she has all the control, and in another capacity she doesn't have any of it. She's concerned about Trump's cognitive decline because he's not behaving in the way he's not following the plan as the plan was supposed to go. She's also enjoying the fact that she's being talked about. She's enjoying the fact that she is center of attention. She's frustrated that she doesn't have access to monies that were promised to her. And I want to say I feel a lot of like disillusioned. Like she lives in a fantasy world of her own. Um like she even sees herself, her incarceration, as being like part of a plan that's just kind of gone awry. Like it's just taken on a life of its own. Like I feel like when I tap into her energy, it's almost like she should have been released a few years back. Like the plan was for her to go. Like once they crossed that threshold, she knew she was going to go. She figured he was going to go. The plan was for him to work his way out of it so that he could then get her out. But that didn't happen. And so she's just constantly living in this fantasy of, but wait a second, this is not how it was supposed to be. I don't know that she has her full mental faculties either. I feel with her, often when I tune into people who have dementia or Alzheimer's, there's a fogginess, almost like a cotton candy, that I see in my mind's eye. She's got a little bit of that fogginess too. So I suspect with her that she's not completely clear headed. So she has moments, not where she forgets where she's at, but maybe she forgets the timeline, the time frame of things, and feels like she's always waiting for the other part of the plan to be known, to take place, but it doesn't. And since he has started to go a little loony spoons, he's unpredictable. And not all of the people that are around him in the regime really care about what she wants and needs. That's the thing too. It's really interesting. He chose this regime, or this regime kind of came together, and you've got, they often say you can't fight a war on two fronts, but they've got like three different purposes, three different goals, three different three different paths that they're trying to reach. And one is the racist, Nazi agenda. One is the protecting the sex offenders and the pedophiles and all the rest of it. And one is all of these individuals, the techs, right? The billionaire tech bros. So you've got these three different goals that are maybe like competing for one another. And there are times when they can work in congruence, but then there's going to be a time, just like anything, it's like the Hunger Games. You can make alliances to get you to a certain point, but eventually, that if it comes down to you and these two people, now suddenly everyone's going to be you know, turning on everyone, right? It's that kind of energy. And she was not prepared for that. She wasn't prepared for the fact that, Mr. Orange Face, was going to lose his faculties in that regard. Um, yeah, she's a piece of work. I mean, she's cold. She's cold. She's not sociopathic. She's psychopathic, just like the rest of them. Um, she just wants out, and she wants to escape to a country that has no extradition, and she wants to live her life, um, you know, somewhere outside of this. She's a very it's a very disturbing energy to be in, quite frankly. I don't enjoy tapping into her at all. Very disturbing.
Well, I figured you wouldn't, but I would, because no one knows what the setup is. No one knows, any of these things, and a lot of it's easy to go down the conspiracy well, of course.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I don't
Um,
consider myself a conspiracy theorist by nature,
mhm,
but if something resonates, it resonates. And then when it comes through the psychic channel, I'm like, oh, okay, there's some truth to that.
mm. That's interesting. I just always wondered because unlike him, I have no idea what's going on with her now. Of course, the conspiracy theorist is, there must have been something given in the leeway because she's still here, right?
She's got stuff. I mean, she's not stupid. I mean,
Well, they could still get rid of her, but I think it's too much of something. You
she's
can't.
got stuff on people. She
Yeah.
definitely has stuff
Well,
on people in places that where they don't know where the stuff is. So
I
she
don't.
still has an insurance policy, so to speak.
I don't think that's the issue because they quite frankly don't care. In 3 or 4 years they don't care. I think the thing is that to not aid in the conspiracy, you can't do it twice. You've already done it once. You did it to Jeffrey, you can't do it to her. Then that just confirms everyone because you got to remember, their hope is that our attention span takes us somewhere else and gets
Yeah,
distracted.
the
So,
elastic band that
yeah,
gets pulled so taut that
yeah.
we
So if you
can't
do
take it
something to
anymore.
her, that's not going to do nothing but continue to have the our attention spans not go somewhere else.
Yeah, that's
You know,
true.
so that's my thought on that. Doesn't doesn't matter. I'm no psychic, even though I told you you're going to pull the full card in the
True. And
in
you
the
and
intro.
we did. Yeah, that was
All
crazy.
right. So that's we talked about Bad Bunny, and of course we talked about the Donald that was in there, and then talking about our using Epstein Files, getting some readings on that, and seeing where that goes. Um, I don't envy you because tapping into these energies, I feel like if I was the one doing it, I would be drained. So, you know,
Yeah,
kudos to you for being
I
able to do
couldn't do
that.
it every day, all day,
Uh-huh.
but I absolutely I feel like it's a necessity now, like it's gotta go somewhere. I receive it for myself anyway, so I might as well share it. It helps to keep the energy flowing, but yeah, I don't wanna sit in it for too long. I have to I'm gonna have a shower after this, let's put it that way.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get you all showered up. I'm gonna lock up and go get showered up too. We'll all shower. Not together, everybody. We're in
Yeah,
two
not
separate
together,
states.
separate
We're
showers.
we're in different states. So
Yes.
that's that happening. All right, Stacy.
Well, good
And
show,
Neo. Neo made an
and Neo,
appearance as
yes,
usual.
Mr. Neo, always, you know how we roll. We put the camera on, and he's like, oh, I'm on camera again, Mama. I'm on camera again.
I'm ready for my close up.
I'm ready for my close up, Mr. DeMille. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Please, share with us in the comments any things that you want to ask about, anything you want us to, explore or tap into. Again, like Keone and I said earlier in the show, we are doing this once every 2 weeks, which makes it a bit of a challenge to keep up with all the things, but we will do our best. And yeah, thanks so much, guys. Just keep it real and keep it true. And we'll see you in a little bit.